Hello and welcome to Zeta's Chivalry 2 survival runs. Today's map is Bridgetown and we're playing as an archer due to popular demand. A disclaimer, I'm not very proficient as an archer, but I can land shots just as well by reading the opponent moves. So let's start. So what is the purpose of an archer? It's basically to do a lot of damage to enemies by two ways of playing. One way is if you are standing far away from the enemy and just hailing arrows at their concentration. The other way is to get a bit closer and try to hit enemies when they're fighting friendlies. But of course you need to have a good timing and understanding of movement. So let's see, I'll do both in this run. I see two enemies, actually three next to the ammo crate, and I disposed of one. Now I see one enemy tries to go at my friendly and I killed him because he was basically swinging into friendly. So I caught him while moving, and I also anticipated and aimed slightly in the front of his movement. Also, if you didn't know, jumping over the obstacles does not decrease your accuracy at all. So do that. And also, within this run you'll see a lot of team damage, because even though I can anticipate enemy movements, I cannot anticipate at the same time friendly movements. So let's see, easy enemy attacks the friendly and he dies. Let's try again. Why I'm using warbow is it delivers more damage and I better count my shots. So it has only 12 arrows and each shot counts. I'm aiming at the enemy. This time I was not anticipated correctly, but now I did. See, I'm close to the enemy, quite close, but since I'm so close I also need to use my third-person view, even though it's detrimental to my accuracy. But when you hit an opponent which is close, it's not that hard due to hitbox being so big. Instead, I'd rather have a lot of view around me by using third-person view, so I can anticipate and see enemies coming to me. You see, that's a specific sound. When I shoot the opponent, that means that the enemy has blocked, and if you didn't know, you can parry the arrow, not parry but counter. If you do perfect counter you can basically block the arrow completely, but if you just press block then you receive reduced damage. So if you're playing a melee and you are going against archers, so just block and damage will be reduced significantly. So we got the first objective. I was not protruding too much from my team, but I'm assisting friendlies wherever I can. Landing shots here and there. One shot to this enemy is good. Two shots. See, every shot counts. And it's pretty tough. I don't want to get hit friendly. And enemy strafing pretty well. And he died from the friendly. It doesn't matter. I landed two shots, so I assisted friendly as much as I could. But alas, one friendly died. Now here is a bit mess, one enemy standing between two friendlies. As you can see, I just jumped and shot. There is absolutely no penalty to jumping, so use that when you are behind an obstacle. You need of course to time your shots, so it doesn't land too far or too close. But other than that, please use it. Again, enemy blocked, only 25 damage delivered, so that's really low. Unfortunately, I downed friendly on the ground. I actually finished him. Sorry, dude. That happens. So I usually just try to apologize in the chat. See, and with melee I can do quicker damage and wise. But it's alright, I'll play more with a bow anyway, since that was the request. But need to first off get rid of pesky enemies that are trying to ruin my day. But in case you're fighting in melee as an archer, please bear in mind that stamina is really low. It's almost as low as for a peasant. So especially if you do some bow shooting and then jumping and so on, please keep an eye on your stamina, because once you get into melee you lose your weapon pretty quickly if you do that. And rule of thumb is, if enemy is charging at you, don't use arrow. Switch to weapon as quickly as you can. Otherwise, it takes time, especially for weapons that are slower, like warbow, to put aside after a shot and take out the your secondary weapon. So bear in mind, if enemy is charging at you, don't shoot. That's a rule of thumb. That's the same with javelins and also the same with bow. Just don't do it. Don't try to shoot enemy who's charging. Better take out the sword and prepare to do counters and blocks and whatnot. Yeah. So now I'm safe again. Jumped and shot the enemy. This time didn't hit the last shot, but it doesn't matter as long as I'm delivering a lot of damage to enemies. Friendlies can proceed further. Now I'm losing a lot of stamina if I'm holding my bow drawn. So don't hold it too long, or else it will be pretty tough for you to... You won't be able to shoot and also won't be able to dash, to block and so on and so forth. So enemy charged, I felt a bit insecure, so I changed the weapon. Enemy was killed mid-air. This happens too. So objective wise it's not progressing too fast. For some reason friendlies are not particularly active. Let's see if I can assist. Again, need to ensure that enemy is actually disposed of quicker. So I'm just taking my secondary weapon and try to have a hack to hack some enemies quickly so we can proceed to objective. 2 enemies down. And I received the javelin. I'm not really sure was it friendly or not. Probably not. But I'm retreating back. My positioning was very good, and I was revived by friendlies. So lucky this time. It might not be lucky, so the class is very squishy. So even a little bit of damage means that you can be insta-killed. So need to, as well as stamina, you always need to check your health too with this class especially. Or else once you got one arrow, then your health is so low that the second arrow will definitely kill you. So whenever you receive damage, go and heal. You see, I anticipated enemy who again moved forward to attack friendly, and I'm now ducked under the Dane axe that was flying into my head. Yeah, it's that's how it plays. Timing, you anticipate enemy movement. Don't be in a rush. Every arrow counts, but don't be in a rush. Just wait. Just wait for a perfect moment and then lose your arrow. Don't just simply spam. That just doesn't work very well and usually results in a lot of team damage. Enemy wants to have a go at me. He's with Dane axe, so he can't one-shot me. But still, receiving one hit from it would not be very pleasant to me. So instead I immediately took away my secondary weapon and started hacking at the enemy. Now here is a bit tricky. There's a ballista behind friendlies, so I cannot shoot there because there's plenty friendlies. But here I can, hopefully. Yeah, landing a lot of hits. Again, even with warbow, you'll do a lot of assists, which is good. I mean, helping friendlies is always good. So it doesn't matter if I'm not receiving all the kills. That's not the point. The point is to land a lot of hits. And just wait for a moment, wait for a moment, wait until enemy makes a mistake. Now, enemy does not make a mistake, it always is almost always behind friendly. It's very hard for me to hit without hitting friendly. So yeah, just, you know, keep in check, no need to lose your arrows all the time. Just wait for a perfect moment. It will come, or enemy will die before that. Your job is to damage the enemy, not friendlies. So just wait. It requires a lot of patience, reading of timing. By the way, the timing reading is exactly the same as if we're using ballista, except ballista is one shot, and sometimes even goes through friendlies too. So if friendly has a lot of health, not archer class, you can try with ballista to shoot through friendly, but I don't recommend it, because friendlies are not happy with that. Now I see there's a hairy moment, there's 2 enemies charging at me, so instead I just retreat back into the safe zone of the map. It's out of bounds for the enemy, but not for me. Enemy he has a counter now, but he needs to go back. And yeah, he still tried to have it go at me, which was okay. I don't mind. But I was in a better position than him. So for defensive runs, it's a bit easier to do archer runs. It depends on the map, of course, but in this map, on Bridgetown, it's much better to play as in offense as an archer, an attacking team. Perfect hit landed. Enemy took away a weapon, and I didn't try to shoot second time. I just basically took secondary weapon and defended his hits. So this is probably my 5th game where I tried to survive as an archer, and I almost... and I did one before. So it's not hard to survive as an archer, definitely not hard. It's harder to do as a melee. And especially if those special modes, such as kill all archers and so on. So archer is one of the easier classes to survive, but again, you have to have certain rules. You need to double check your surroundings almost always, not be out of position, and so forth. In regards for a lot of kills, that's a different story. If you're a good archer, you will get kills anyway. But if you're a beginner, you probably will not make a lot of kills, but make a lot of assists. So have this in mind. If you want to do survival runs, you can try do it as an archer. It's a bit easier. Yeah. So even though I'm not proficient with archer, as I said, out of 5 tries, I survived in 2. One of them is with lower score and will go into uncommented videos. But this with a high score I can easily comment, so that's what I'm doing. Again, hiding now behind the cart, so enemy archers cannot see me because there is matriculations above the main gate. And people are shooting through them. So I don't want to be exposed towards that side as much as I can. I try to hide. Here too, I try to hide. Also, archer loadout does have the fireplace, which basically enables you to shoot fire arrows. It's good, especially with a quicker bow. Like, but with the warbow, it's okay. It just gives additional damage, so it means burning over time. So it's okay. It's not crucial, definitely, because if you shoot every arrow that counts, you can still score a lot of kills. Now, when you use third person with an archer, sometimes you get a feeling that your arrows are not landing where they should, where you aimed. And that's because of that perspective. It does not allow for very accurate shots. So once I'm inside the shooting through the window, I would definitely choose a different perspective. And switching perspectives, you can use letter P on the keyboard, as in Papa. And that switches you to different person. So if you were first person, you would switch to third person and vice versa. So yeah, still shooting enemies. I have only 1 arrow left, so but this was taken, the ammo crate, so I go to another. Ammo crates do have a cooldown if a lot of friendlies or enemies are picking something up. If there is a cooldown, you have to wait, so that's what I'm doing. Also, warbow is very good that it can insta-kill archers, not always, but most of the time. So that's why I use it. And see, I'm just peppering enemies that are moving on into objective, helping my team, and as well scoring kills and takedowns, assists. And now we're progressing this objective quite well, but it's a bit neck and neck at the moment. The Bridgetown gate is almost down. And now it's down. And we did it when we had less than 40 seconds remaining. Now we can go inside. Now in the challenge in the city is that ranges can be very short, especially if enemy is trying to circle around and go behind. So need to additional thinking how to do that in a close quarters with an archer. Need to understand. I've reached just 15th level of my warbow, so that again gives you an illustration of how proficient I am. So that means I haven't played with it too much, just a bit, for your survival runs only. I don't mind. Now here's a window. It looks like I'm shooting at enemies, but it's pretty tough to land the shot. So I'll shoot the perspective with B. And now it's easy. Again, I cannot stay here and see where the arrow is landing. I always need to duck because arrows are flying at me too. One kill. Probably an archer because delivered 94 damage. Second kill. You see, when people say that archery is hard, it's not. Look, it's just about positioning and then that's it. There's almost minimal risk involved. Of course, with warbow, if I would receive one headshot, I would die. But this is inevitable. So instead, I'm just playing safe and doing a lot of damage to enemies. Just shooting somewhere in the concentrated blob, and I mean landed so many hits already, and also quite a few kills. So yeah, if somebody says surviving as an archer is hard, it's not. It's not hard. But you have to play with brains like in most survival modes. So archer is definitely the easy mode. Unless you play bad, sort of expose yourself and so on, and play first person only, so then you cannot see what's happening on your sides, and that's bad. I would rather trade some accuracy for ability to see more, and that's what I do. Friendly jumped in front of me. He receives an arrow. It does some damage, but not much. Oh, hello there. Oh my god, that's a jumper. And also, enemy almost got me behind me. He almost went behind me. No worries, we don't risk it. We just go back into the safe spot. And then we can pepper enemy with arrows. Why risk? One, again, timing. It's all about timing. Unfortunately, this time I timed into friendly. But doesn't matter. You see, enemies are low because I hit them. And the knight was also very low. So I landed 3 arrows there. Actually 4, but one into the friendly, so I wouldn't count that. Enemy's retreating. I know he's moving, there's not jerky, so I can... he's not zigzagging, so I can attend my shot, and I do. And I get a kill. So always anticipate the movement. That's how it works here. Yeah, so... low on arrows. We need to replenish them. You can actually pick up arrows from the dead opponent once you fell him, so you can retrieve the same amount of arrows that landed into him. But, I mean, I'm not risking my life going for an arrow. Here's a very nice spot. I'm waiting for a very small gap to shoot the enemy. It worked first time, but not the other. And now Turkish shoot again. Turkish shoot. See, I'm anticipating enemy movement. And then attack him. And that's a kill. That's how you do kills. Anticipate enemy movement and shoot rarely, but shoot accurately. And we're doing fine so far. That's a bit trickier when friendlies are showing their backs and almost blocking your view. But that's not, I mean, not a big issue. Still waiting for friendlies to pass. And then I can shoot. Objective has moved. So far it's going swimmingly. I'm just ranging now with middle mouse button to see how far the enemy is. And just shooting into general direction at the moment, because there's still enemies here. And managed to get a kill. You see, just shot to the general direction. That's how you kill with Archer too. Now I'm drawing my bow behind an objective, behind the obstacle, and then pop up when I just shoot. So it's similar to some sort of like crossbow play. So this is what you should do. I mean, whenever you are not losing your arrows, you should be behind the obstacle, so a stray arrow cannot get you. Like here, I'm not landing particularly a lot of hits, but it's important to stay hidden as much as you can. See, another hit. I mean, I think every archer would envy by the amount of enemy damage to team damage I do here. Because I usually get a lot of arrows in my back when I play. But in this gameplay I think I can count maybe 5 times when I did it. And so much more enemies were hit. So yeah, archers, I don't mind if that you play archers, but don't shoot at friendlies, okay? Just take my advice and time your shots correctly. Try not to shoot at friendlies. It's not worth losing a lot of arrows. It's worth to lose few, but actually hitting enemies. And now on this balcony I'm pretty safe, because if enemy comes, I know they will be met with a resistance downstairs. So I can stay here and just continue peppering until I'm being shot at. And see, I'm landing good hits, assisting friendlies. So I'm fine here. Unfortunately, this time landed into enemy. I mean, you see, it's pretty hard now. I have no shot. Very few shots because there's too many friendlies. Now this, on open field, I can do. Just shooting some arrows. I'm also low, so I'll go pick it up. I'm not going for objective because that's not the purpose of an archer, to go for objective. I mean, a class is too squishy, even to attempt to go there. Because enemy can reach there, and that's really bad. Because on a straight up fight, archer would usually lose. I mean, not always, but against semi-competent opponent, any melee fighter has an upper hand due to more stamina and better weapons. And don't get me started if enemy has a one-shot weapon, such as a greatsword. Oh, this one. Okay, this is quite tricky. Ambushes can also insta-kill archers. So I landed one hit, and enemy and friendly has finished off an ambusher. So ambushes are probably the thing you should look at more carefully, because they move around very quickly and they can also insta-kill you. So yeah, when you're an archer, ambusher is your worst enemy. Not knights. Vanguards, yes, too, but not knights and footmen are like easy prey for you. Other archers too should be. If you have correctly chosen your battlefield or position in the battlefield, then archers is not a problem. I'm yet to see one arrow hit me, because I'm again sitting in a very secure location. Yeah, there is an archer now shooting at me. But doesn't matter, I need to find out where he is. And we'll take care of him. Objective-wise, we're progressing quite okay, I guess. There are still a few nobles left. But I'm, again, not risking. I'm not going there. That's not my job as an archer, to go for objective. Not now, not ever. My job is to deliver damage to enemy who's moving from the spawn to the objective. So they will be less enthusiastic and motivated to go there and fight friendlies. So yeah, I replenished the arrows, and now I'm again on my balcony, which is really good. Wanted to time my arrow correctly, but unfortunately enemy has moved to the side the last second, so I couldn't. There's 20 seconds left of this map. We're probably gonna lose, but that does not matter. I hope I gave you some pointers on how to play an archer, even though I'm not a proficient archer player, but as you can observe here, I can do surviving with archer with a lot of kills just as well. So the map is ending. I've scored 36 kills and enjoyed the game. Hopefully you did too. Thank you and see you next time.